Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we are digging into something seriously fascinating. It's basically a meta document, a complete step-by-step production blueprint designed to engineer a highly engaging viral finance business explainer. You know when you find yourself just completely glued to one of those rapid-fire lists of business ideas online and you're thinking, why can't I stop watching this? Well, we're going to figure exactly that out today. We are deconstructing the anatomy of a viral hit, looking at the script, the visuals, and those sneaky little psychological triggers that absolutely command our attention. Let's get right into it. Real quick, here is our agenda. First, deconstructing the video breakdown. 2, triggering viewer psychology. 3, the 2026 script blueprint. 4, AI visuals and production. And finally, number 5, mastering the SEO strategy. Okay, section 1, deconstructing the video breakdown. Let's look at what makes this blueprint literally impossible to click away from. So, the structural foundation here is actually brilliant. It doesn't just start talking, it hits you right away with a pain point hook. By asking if you're struggling to stand out in a competitive market, it immediately filters the audience. It's only grabbing aspiring financial entrepreneurs. Then, bam, it drags you through a rapid-fire listicle. The information density is off the charts. You're getting 20 ideas thrown at you so fast that your brain doesn't even have a second to get bored. But, and this is key, it's not random. There's a really logical story progression happening, moving from traditional services to modern tech, all anchored by this numbered visual structure that makes the whole thing feel super easy to skim. And notice this, the call to action, totally withheld until the very end. You literally have to earn it by watching the whole list. Moving right along to section 2, triggering viewer psychology. Check out how the script leverages authority bias to make you feel uniquely qualified right out of the gate. I mean, authority bias is incredibly powerful. By basically saying, hey, these ideas are for people with real financial expertise, the script instantly validates your background. It's telling you you're smart, you've got the skills, and this is exactly on your level. When an audience feels respected like that, their willingness to stick around and listen just skyrockets. The blueprint also sets up this intense ticking clock. It taps heavily into loss aversion and FOMO, the fear of missing out. By using phrases like competitive market and explicitly anchoring the opportunity to the year 2026, it creates this localized burning urgency. It forces the viewer to realize, wait, this window isn't open forever, it's closing. It completely shifts your mindset from, I'll look into this eventually, to I need to act right now before someone else takes my spot. And then there's this, which is a massive psychological relief, mitigating the choice paradox. That's what happens when we get totally overwhelmed by searching for answers across dozens of tabs, usually ending in complete decision paralysis. Well, by bundling exactly 20 ideas into one single comprehensive list, this blueprint creates a one-stop shop. It totally neutralizes search anxiety. You feel safe sticking with this one explainer because it promises to hand you everything you need all in one neat package. All right, section 3, the 2026 script blueprint. Take a look at this exact hook from the script. It hits so hard and fast. The financial landscape is shifting. If you have the expertise but lack the big idea for 2026, you're sitting on a gold mine. I mean, that is high-energy, modern entrepreneurship copy at its finest. It perfectly blends that validation we just talked about with the promise of immense, untapped value. It is absolutely engineered to hook you within those crucial first 10 seconds. Now, the core of the listicle follows a highly logical progression. It's not just throwing 20 random ideas at the wall to see what sticks. It's carefully guiding you. It starts in familiar territory, right? The core pillars of traditional services, things like becoming a fractional CFO or doing tax strategy. Then it ramps up to growth drivers like loan brokering. But then, and here's the pivot, it offers modern, scalable, tech-driven solutions across those exact same categories. We're talking expense management SaaS or AI-driven robo-advisory platforms. Finally, it touches on education, making the jump from traditional personal finance coaching to building a massive TikTok content empire. It covers every base, making sure any type of financial professional sees a clear, undeniable path forward. And the visual delivery of this script, just as aggressive as the copy. To mimic those classic, highly edited captions we see all over the place right now, the blueprint calls for massive, bold text smack in the center of the screen. You emphasize the heavy-hitting keywords, changing them to bright yellow or green on words like goldmine or AI-driven. This forces absolute visual focus onto the most impactful, high-dopamine words in the script. Your eyes physically cannot wander. It's, well, highly manipulative, but you absolutely have to admit it is incredibly effective. Let's jump right into section 4, AI visuals and production. So, the blueprint doesn't just settle for boring stock footage. No, it specifically calls for cinematic, hyper-realistic AI video prompts using tools like Sora or Runway. Look at this progression. Scene 1 establishes a high-end corporate tone, a glass office, rising financial charts. Then Scene 2 shifts to a minimalist home office with holographic UI overlays, which perfectly matches that pivot into tech-driven consulting we discussed. Scene 3 goes full sci-fi with a glowing, futuristic server room processing a digital coin for the Robo-advisory segment. And finally, Scene 4 brings it back down to earth with a slick, professional studio setup featuring money bouquet effects. The visuals dynamically and perfectly mirror the script's exact journey. The audio-visual recipe here is also incredibly precise. The production flows so logically through these steps. First, the voiceover. It's not just professional, it's paced at exactly 140 words per minute to keep the energy totally relentless. Underneath that, you've got this driving funk light or modern corporate track building the intensity. Then you add in digital whooshes between scenes, maybe some cash register dings when a new number pops up. The result? A complete sensory package that keeps your brain fully engaged and stimulated through the entire rapid-fire list. Finally, Section 5, Mastering the SEO Strategy. Because look, you can have the absolute best script in the world, but if the packaging is wrong, nobody is ever going to see it. This SEO metadata wraps everything up perfectly. The target titles are super searchable, cleanly highlighting 20 ideas and the urgency of 2026. The alternative title is brilliant too, specifically targeting people with a finance degree who are looking to pivot. The description goes straight for the emotional jugular, the pain point of breaking free from the 9-to-5 grind. And the targeted hashtags, they round it all out, casting a net perfectly designed to capture that specialized financial expert demographic we talked about at the very beginning. And that brings us full circle. By combining a hyper-targeted hook, rapid-fire pacing, psychological validation, and high-end AI production, this blueprint engineers a totally magnetic explainer. Honoring the blueprint's explicit strategy to drive engagement at the very end, I'm going to leave you with the exact question the script asks its own audience. It is the ultimate call to action that flips you from a passive viewer into an active participant. So, thinking about all these models, from fractional CFO to AI content empires, which of these fits your expertise? And what exactly will you build?